Alright. Hello and welcome to the very first episode of e-SportsCore. What e-SportsCore is a show about bringing you the highlights and results from esports competitive video games, from StarCraft to action RTS games like League of Legends and DOTA 2, to fighting games and others as time progresses. I'm Sahara Drac. I've been a StarCraft 2 caster for a couple of years now. A couple of you might know me. It's possible, at least.
I knew you.
Thank you.
That's why I came from Kansas to be a co-commentator.
With me today is a large, bald Mexican from Kansas. He's not actually from Kansas at all.
San Burke, bro.
Why don't you introduce
Anyway,
yourself?
I'm Arctic Drag. Danny and I have been friends for a long time. We actually met in middle school when we were playing football and just banging chicks left and right. It was sick. It was sick. Not even a single STD. Did you get one? Okay, so anyway, one of the things that we wanted to do with the show was to entertain you and inform you about what's going on around the esports world. And to do that, you need equipment. Okay? And how do you get equipment? Funding.
Credit.
We got that.
This is us. A quick little segment of us gearing up and getting ready to get the best equipment to bring you the best quality show possible. So let's check it out.
Quality.
Brown.
I would like to listen. Yes! Okay. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Okay, so we weren't able to get the equipment we wanted. As you can see, things are a little ghetto around here right now, but we're gonna do everything we can to take baby steps and improve the product. So I guess let's get to what you're here for and get to StarCraft.
Yes, hello everybody. Welcome to the GSL Season 4 Round of 32 group stages. We are not going to show you any highlights or replays whatsoever, just pictures and us talking, and it's going to be really fun.
Alright, and in the first match we had Seed versus Suhosen, with Seed coming out on top, 2-1.
I agree. Leanock versus Parting was the second game. Parting took it 2-1. It was uneventful.
Oh shit, Seed and Parting, Seed won 2-1.
And it looks like Leanock and Suhosen, Leanock took it 2-0. He straight up cooked some noodles on that fool.
And then we had Parting versus Leanock, and Parting's haircut is definitely killing esports.
No question. On to Group B, Symbol versus Yoda. Symbol took it 2-1.
And then we had Ryung versus Hero. Hero took that match 2-1 as well.
There's no question that blonde hair looks good on that boy. Symbol versus Hero. Again, that blonde hair is making its debut, and Hero 2-0, easy.
And then we had Yoda versus Ryung, and Yoda 2-1. He's a wise one. I know this.
The last game of the day was Symbol versus Yoda. Symbol took it 2-0 to declare his dominance.
And Group C, we had MC versus the classic Jaedong. MZ took it, though, in 2-0.
Yeah, Curious versus Marine King was the next match. Curious, it was a close match. Curious 2-1.
And then we had MC versus Curious. Curious actually a bit of an upset, taking that one 2-0.
Alright, Jaedong for his second match, trying to keep things alive versus Marine King. Unfortunately, Marine King was 2-1 victorious.
Yep. And then a classic matchup, MC versus Marine King. Marine King on top once again in this rival, 2-1.
And then we're going to Group D, Beyond versus Rain. Not the Rain we're used to, 2-0, Rain.
And then Happy versus Genius. Happy takes that one, 2-1.
Alright, the next match was the Rain again versus Happy. Happy took this one 2-1. It was actually a really good game. Go watch that.
Beyond versus Genius happened after that, and Beyond took that one handily, 2-1.
And the last game of the night in Group D was Rain versus Beyond, where Rain upset Beyond 2-0. He advances.
Moving on to Group E, we had Teja versus Mana, and Teja takes that one 2-1 over the Mouse Man.
MMA versus MVP, everybody, and guess what? MVP took a 2-1. He broke that streak.
Yeah, and then Teja versus MVP. Teja coming up big, getting a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, Tasia made it look really easy, in fact. Next game was Mana versus MMA. MMA flexing his muscles, showing that Slayer still got it 2-0.
And then finally we had MVP versus MMA again, and MVP takes that one 2-0.
Big upset. On to Group F. Naniwa versus Hart, the hope and joy of the white man. Unfortunately, he lost. 2-1. Hart took it.
And then Sniper versus Squirtle. Squirtle takes that one 2-1.
Next match was Hart versus Squirtle, and Squirtle again just showing people that he's here and he means business, man. 2-0.
And the pride of Sweden falls down again to Sniper 2-0 after that.
I started drinking heavily anyway. Last game of Group F, Hart versus Sniper. Hart took it 2-1. The cheesiest player dominated.
Yep, and then on to Group G, the old schooler, Nest T, losing 2-0 to Life.
That new Zerg is too good. JYP versus Supernova was the next game where JYP showing everybody that he means business 2-0.
And Life versus JYP after that. Life took it 2-0.
Yes, sir. And the fourth game of the night was Nest T versus Supernova. Supernova, the ugliest Korean I've ever seen, 2-0.
And then we had JYP versus Supernova.
I'm
JYP
just kidding.
Professionally taking that 2-1.
So now, the GSL Season 4 Final 16 are... Leenock! Seed! Symbol! Hero! Marine King! Curious! Rain! Happy! Tasia! MVP! Heart! Squirtle! Life! JYP! The remaining 2 slots will be filled by either Dongregu, Bomber, Polt, or Gumiho.
Alright, here we are at the Intel Extreme Masters Finals in Cologne between the Polish superstar, Nerchio, and Korean nobody, MVP.
As you can see, what nobody's always do is they try to cheese, and this dude's going for the ultimate cheese. 2 racks opening. He's hoping for the best here.
Oh, man. That's, it's first game of the finals against a white guy. I'd throw him off balance, too, It's just...
It's not hard. White guys are horrible with their...
Hey.
Okay.
No, it's all right.
No,
And what results is about 15 minutes of back and forth between these proxy marines and the lings of Nerchio. A lot of drone pulls, a lot of counterattacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's just trying to force his way in there, and Nerchio is just he's stalling for time, and eventually he gets the better of him. Once the lings get in the Terran base, it's pretty much over at that point.
Yeah. And the cheese from the Korean didn't quite work out this time. So actually, Nerchio moves up 1-0 to start the series.
I agree.
All right, moving on to game 2. This is on on Cloud Kingdom. Big macro-oriented game this time. Lots of Vikings.
Everything. Mech, look at the mech. Look at the mech.
Big mech play from MVP, and I love mech Terran, man. I think it's the most exciting way to play Terran. I love it.
Not only is it the coolest to watch, but it's the coolest to listen to. Just the siege tanks. Oh, it's all just majestic. It's a beautiful symphony.
We have a couple metal-inspired boners over here right now, and that's okay. As you can see, the mech is really strong on this. There's not a lot Nerchio can do against all these Thors. He brings out a lot of infestors. He's already used up most of his fungal growths. The Vikings are still kicking it just fine. So
he's landing it just to make sure that it's going to go well, and it does.
Yeah. So game 2 to MVP. Moving on to game 3 on Atlantis Starship, which is that sounds like a sweet '60s band that I would totally listen to on vinyl if I was a hipster. But there's another big mech game here. This time Nerchio going with the Ultralisks and Ravens. Lots of fungal growths going down. This is a closer game.
It looks like it's going really well for Nerchio, but as you can see, there's literally too many medevacs. There's one medevac for every single bio unit. Yeah. It's just too much healing in the end, and it's going to take the reinforcements. Big
reinforcement here from these group of Marauders is what. And once the medevacs still have plenty of energy, so nice counter drops also from MVP. Very good at that. And yeah, it's just too much healing. Ultralisks are not enough, so Broodlords didn't cut the mustard. Ultralisks aren't doing it. MVPs looked really, really strong in this finals. So
here's the last stand. He's going to try to get him. As you can see, all the Zerglings are surrounding, but there's just too much healing.
Yeah, even with a nice surround, just too many medevacs, just not enough. Yeah, unfortunate for non-Koreans all over. Yep. And so, yeah, he takes a commanding lead now, moving on to Game 4 on Metropolis, not to be confused with Metalopolis. Why they would name two maps like that? Is it just to hurt us?
It's messing with those people that didn't get their high school diplomas.
Yeah, which I don't even know how to say that word you just said. Another big mech game. Lots of Vikings, lots of Ravens. Not as much mech. A lot more bio, kind of like the last game.
Yeah, big macro.
Big macro game. Yes, sorry, thank you. You should just take over.
No, look at those fungos. Oh, it's so beautiful. But unfortunately, the Terran army is greater than your army.
The Terran army is indeed greater than your army when it's in the hands of MVP.
Look at that.
That's a happy boy. He's used to winning. He's going to go over and shake this dude's hand. He's like, hey, nice green shirt. Thank you. And, yeah. That was your IAM finals. That was a couple weeks back in Cologne. We'll be bringing you lots more StarCraft action in the future.
It is old.
Covering the North American regionals for League of Legends, we have CLG versus Curse Gaming. You might remember Curse Gaming from the World of Warcraft days when they made a mod that lets you swap out your raiding gear for your after-hours erotic playtime gear in that particular MMO. Well, they have a League of Legends team, and they're playing against CLG right now. And CLG taking an unprecedented 3 teleports and promote as their summer spell, so they want to push strong and they want to move fast around the map. As you can see here, it starts early with the aggressiveness. Hotshot GG and Voyboy coming out of the jungle with Olaf, and he gets the first blood to go down for CLG. So, somewhat uneventful game after that, up until this point. Big team fight, Bruise at Baron Nashor. This is more towards the late game. Great smite from Dr. Mundo. That's Hotshot GG. They both went for the smite actually at the same time, and Mundo's went off first. So my screen froze up there for a second. Sorry about that. And then on top of it, they're able to take Baron and then completely get away without losing anyone and do a lot of damage on their way out, which is going to lead to a really big push. A really big push that's really hard to stop. Which does go down right here at about the 42-minute mark. And you can see the crowd quite pleased with that. CLG, if they win this series, they get a guaranteed spot in the World Playoffs, and it's worth a lot of money. This is the official Riot Games, League of Legends Nationals tournament, so it's a pretty big deal for these fellas. And as you can see, they're, chilling behind their computers. There's Hotshot. Moving on to Game 2, similar first blood attempt as before with Hotshot GG and Voyboy, but this time Westeros is a little more on top of things. He's able to get away, and St. Vicious on Shyvana is able to come help him out, and so not so lucky that time. Unfortunately, he's lulled into a sense of stability as Hotshot GG loops back around and is able to ram him into the wall, and they're able to dive down on him and get first blood. Happily for Curse Gaming, Shen does get the kill when the turret kills the diving Voyboy, so... big moment in the game happened when huge team fight brewed at Dragon around the 20-minute mark. As you can see, they're trying to poke and stab at each other. Nobody wants that other team to get that 1,000 gold. I'm getting congested, and my mother hates me, so... But I'm not going to take another take. You know what? Fuck it. So Graves, there's the crescendo going down on that fella. And actually, no one's going down yet. A lot of people close to death. Graves finally gets taken out by the flash over the wall, and this is a huge moment in the game. Karthus, after dying, has the Requiem getting charged up, and Jax dives in and sacrifices his life to stun him. So he saves 2 or 3 kills by sacrificing himself there and interrupting Karthus' ult. So great play by him. I have some more footage here. I thought maybe something exciting would happen, but no, he's just going to recall. So... these things happen. There's Alistair moving in a circle. And, oh, here we go. There's the Wall of Pain going down on Baron Nashor. This is at the 42-minute mark. Curse Gaming here actually is going to take Baron down. This game incredibly close at this point. It's 13-12, and there's less than 1,000 gold difference. And Curse able to take Baron there, so CLG looking like they're actually in a little bit of trouble. It's so even right now because... Curse is down an inhibitor, but they also just got Baron, so they kind of even each other out. So the next big fight is going to determine basically what happens. And this is a little bit puzzling.
CLG, knowing that Curse has Baron, go ahead and try to push on Curse while they're holding Baron buff, and it actually ends up working out pretty decently. It's an even exchange, 3 versus 3, but they peel 3 Baron buffs off of Curse Gaming, so it was worth it. So good, aggressive, smart play from CLG there, which is going to lead them to a big push down the middle, and I'm sorry, I keep getting confused. Curse is going to try and push in here, kind of a desperation push, and CLG is going to handily hold them off at their tower. I'm not sure they even take a casualty other than Karthus here, and really, Curse's Requiem was huge, and it does a ton of damage, but it's not going to matter because they got counter pushed hard after that. Big swing at that defense at the tower, and 47-minute mark, they're going to take the final towers, and I need a Sudafed, I don't know, Theraflu, maybe a tissue, maybe I just need a hug. But either way, CLG takes the series 2-0, and that's exciting for them. That's exciting for me. Graves got a triple kill, I see, and Asians are celebrating. Asian Americans and their white friends are celebrating now, and who doesn't love that? Okay, and the other marquee matchup for the North American Regionals at PAX this past weekend was Team Solo Mid versus Dignitas. Honestly, it was a rout. TSM took Team Dignitas out to the woodshed, as my friend Jim Ross would say. And yeah, I'm just going to let it suffice to say they went up 4-1 early in Game 1. They continued to widen their lead. There was no really great team fights to talk about. And yeah, the bans and picks were nothing surprising. And then they went 6-0 in the second game. Team Solo Mid just kind of ran all over Dignitas. So yeah, that's all I'm really going to say about it. And they made it. They make it to the playoff spot. They won overall for the weekend, and they look like favorites to take the whole season. So we'll see what happens in the next update. All right, we're here looking at the best plays of the Dota 2 International, starting with Puppy playing Lycanthrope. Fittingly enough, he's got his 2 dire wolves here who are invisible. Steal the haste rune from Brewmaster. Body block him all the way up the ramp, and then completely block him off from the staircase so he can't get through, allowing Dendi to get the kill on Rubik. So awesome wolf control there from Puppy, and made me happy. The next play coming up here is again, it's Puppy playing Lycanthrope. A great black hole over the wall pulls them in, and Puppy's been dead for a while, but that doesn't mean his wolves are. So again, another great wolf play from the same player. There's a double kill, and he's gonna try and chase this guy down now with from beyond the grave. Only his wolves gets a triple kill, and as you can see, the Ancient Apparition is going to go down on that right now. And yeah, there's the triple kill from the wolves alone. They try to chase down this Naga, but it doesn't end getting away. Here's Ferrari playing Rubik with the Force Staff, and Shadow Shaman's in trouble, and he says, "Don't worry about it. I'll just Force Staff you out of the way of a Split Earth, a Sunstrike, and a Waveform." Just moves his friend right out of the way, and then they're able to set up a nice black hole there. And probably the play of the tournament here. This is IG moving around for a smoke gank. This is from IG versus Na'Vi. IG is completely invisible, moving around here to get a smoke gank on these guys. And it looks really dire for them as the siren song goes off, and they move in, and then the great Ravage, and then instantly countered into the best black hole anyone has ever seen, and then Rubik with the counter Ravage. Just amazing to hit that entire Chinese Dota team with one black hole like that. Here it is in, take a look at it again, it's in slow motion. The siren song goes off, she uses her mana style, there's the vacuum, Juggernaut goes off, the Ravage hits the team, and then right as soon as he pops out, Light of Heaven playing Enigma pulls in 4 of IG and Rubik counter Ravages, and that smoke gank got turned completely around. That was probably the most vicious turnaround in a team fight I've ever seen in Dota, let alone in this tournament. So those were your best plays from the International. Let's move on now to the final match. All right, and moving on now to the grand final match between IG and Na'Vi, actually coming out of the losers bracket IG.
And this is game 1 here. First blood of Queen of Pain barely escapes the first blood there. Unfortunately, your friend the Shadow Shaman is not so lucky. But so there's the first blood of the grand finals going to IG. Moving on, there's a complete whiff later on in an almost team fight, and Na'Vi throws down the Siren Song. Looks like they're having a little bit of a hard time deciding if they want to have this team fight or not, and it turns out they should not have had this team fight because the miscommunication there led to them being out of position, and I don't think they could have won it anyways. So you see some Na'Vi champions now. Oh, well, I just called them champions. Gross. Na'Vi heroes going down now, and unfortunately, that is the basics of game 1. They're gonna then take a huge lead because of that gold leap they took with that mistake on Na'Vi's part, and go ahead and push right on in. And there's a GG from Puppy. Game 2, big comeback from Na'Vi in this game. They kind of slaughtered IG. There you see the Siren Song go down, and a huge vacuum just pulls all of IG in, and they completely get 5 kills, wipe out the whole team there, wipe out all of IG in that fight. Go ahead and push on in for the GG in game 2. So 1-1, and white people everywhere were like, maybe white people, Dota, but IG had something to say about that, unfortunately. In game 3, I didn't even show because it was an absolute just embarrassment. Na'Vi got 2 kills that game. So, yeah. Moving on to game 4, Juggernaut on Na'Vi, and Juggernaut and Nyx Assassin. So you know Na'Vi is getting desperate when you're picking that, but as you saw just now, that was a great escape from Leshrac during that play. That was kind of the one highlight for Na'Vi during this game. Yeah, what do we got going on here? Whoops. This is the escape here. So Rubik gets the kill on Dendi gets the kill with Rubik there. They're getting some pretty good position on this guy. Havost is trying to do what he can with Juggernaut. Keeper of the Light comes in though, and Ferrari's Templar Assassin is just really, really strong. That's just a strong hero, and he's a really strong player. So Juggernaut throws down the Blade Fury, and here comes Leshrac. Leshrac, look at his hit points. He's down to nothing. He pops his magic wand as the projectile's in the air, pulls away, turns around, takes the chance, and the Darkseer just kind of dropped the ball there and got split earth. So he jukes right here into these bushes and is able to pour it out. So awesome escape from Leshrac there. That's what I was referring to earlier. My fault. But yeah, that's about it really for Na'Vi this game. Actually, it was close for a while. It was a decent game. You can see a big ravage there. The Keeper of the Lights shockwave thing, I forgot what it's actually called because I'm an expert in the field apparently. It just does so much damage, man. But when I saw this game and I saw Na'Vi pick Juggernaut and Nyx Assassin, I was kind of like there's a reason Juggernaut isn't seen really very much in. It's because his Omni Slash is easy to counter. Especially when the other team has things like Templar Assassin, you know. And yeah, pretty much every Omni Slash in this game was complete failure. He would have hit creeps, he would hit nothing, he would hit Templar Shield. It was just not good for the Juggernaut this game. Havost, yeah. Right there you see IG actually had a bad miscommunication there. The Siren Song went down and Darkseer thought they were going to fight, and the other 4 dudes on IG were like, took off. And they left Darkseer in the dust, and he was just like, oh, guys. So that was kind of funny, but it didn't really matter a whole lot. There's just not much they could do against this team comp. They're pushing down now. I mean, the Lone Druid was their one hope to win this game because they kind of left him free farming top for a long time when he had the top CS. But then he just gets caught out and just killed, no problem, just through bad decision making on his part later in the mid game. And here's the final team fight. The wall goes down from the Darkseer. There's no Ravage up, so Rubik takes his own wall. You can see there's 2 walls there, so there's lots of clones running around. Leshrac is hitting tens of things, and Aegis gets popped on Templar Assassin. But the Ravage is finally finished on cooldown, so the Siren Song goes down to get the good position here, and there it is, a nice Ravage, and that's going to be the end of it for EG. So your $1 million winners, $1 million is IG Invictus Gaming, and there you can see the final push. I wish you guys could. You should definitely go watch these replays because the crowd was great during the international. I mean, the roar of the crowd during this part was huge, and like for the first bloods, and just it was really exciting and kind of awesome. So, congratulations to IG for winning that very, very difficult tournament, and they're great players, so they deserved it. Now for the best part of the international for me. During the awards ceremony, here's Chuan, who's just so handsome, getting his award. They give it a cool Aegis, and he's like, "Here you do, dude. You want to touch it? No." Let's watch that again in slow motion. Here you go, bro. No, and look at just shame. So that was definitely nice. Taking a look now at the stats, and just as you can see, just from looking at the numbers, it wasn't always apparent when you were watching the games because there were little smatterings of nice plays here and there from Na'Vi, but looking at it statistically, I mean, just an absolute rout. Highest gold per minute in the match was this guy Zoo, man. He was playing Lone Druid and Broodmother and Naga. 479 gold per minute average, and this is cumulative stats for all 4 games put together. 764 last hits is the highest on Na'Vi from Light of Heaven, and that's pretty good for 4 games, but 925 from Zhu. And as you can see, looking at the KDAs, not a single positive score for the Grand Finals on Na'Vi, not one. A tremendous number of deaths, and every single player on Invictus Gaming had a positive score. Fucking 57 assists from Chuan. That's great support from that guy. He had the best score overall, I'd say, with the 12-4 and 57. So, grats to him. And you can see, because there's no positives on Na'Vi and no negatives on IG, that means it was really balanced as far as IG's good gameplay. They were all contributing, and they were all doing really well, as opposed to all the kills going to like there was no carry, basically. No one was carrying IG. They all contributed in a huge way, so that's definitely the way to win games of Dota. Yeah, and they win $1 million and Marin Dauer. Just very interesting stats to look at. Dendy not looking too good. Ferrari actually, he didn't look that impressive, but actually he had the most kills in the finals with 27. I mean, it makes sense. He's playing Templar Assassin, but it's kind of hard to see that when you're watching it as it happens. Looking back on it statistically, it's pretty impressive. So that was your international part 2. Congratulations to IG. Let's move on to the next segment.
Alright everybody, thank you for watching our very first episode of e-SportsCore. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun making it. Sahara, do you have any final words? Jerry Springer moment?
Oh, yeah. No, not really. Just, let us know what you thought of it. We want to make more episodes, and we want this to be something people enjoy, and we want it to be on a regular basis. So if you want to help or you have any suggestions, hit up the YouTube or email us or whatever. And, yeah, we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.